right, welcome back to Tess Talk, where we discuss important healthcare options and issues that may arise and affect our communities, and what Garcia Family Medicine offers with direct primary care to be the solution. So today we will be talking about the flu. Before we do get started, I'd like to introduce Dr. Tess. How are you today?
I'm doing well, and I do not have the flu, and I got my flu shot.
Good. So, just simply, what is the flu?
Flu, or actually influenza, is a viral illness. You catch it from a virus. That's why when you get the flu, you can't go to the doctor and say, give me an antibiotic, because antibiotics don't work on viruses. Viruses are nasty little creatures. They get into your body and then migrate inside the cell. And particularly the cell, or the flu virus will get into the cells of the mucous membranes lining your bronchioles, which are little air tubes that go down and meet the bronchus. And they get inside those cells and they take over the cell's DNA or RNA, depending on which one, processes. And instead of the cell making the enzymes and the things that it's supposed to do, it makes it start working to make more flu virus. And the cell fills up with the flu virus, and finally it explodes and releases more flu viruses in the body, which is why you have a few days, we call it prodrome, where you might be feeling kind of crappy, but you're not necessarily really sick until it finally hits. Because during that time, the flu is replicating itself and getting ready to really hit you. Another thing about the flu, as I said, is going after the bronchioles, the breathing tubes. So flu is a respiratory illness. People keep thinking that they'll have a stomach virus, so they'll have nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and they say, yeah, I had the flu. No, that's not the flu. That is not influenza. That's some kind of different gastrointestinal or stomach virus, which also explains the confusion that people have about the flu vaccine.
So you kind of hit on a few of the misconceptions about the flu as far as like symptoms. Is there anything major medically that someone should know?
A lot of people say, why bother with the flu shot? Because you're only going to feel rotten for a few days. So why do we need to vaccinate to prevent that? That's because the flu won't necessarily be only for a few days. It can get you completely ill. You can develop pneumonia. You can develop bronchitis, which are other respiratory illnesses. It can make you very sick, particularly in the very young and the very old. It can kill you. And there are a number of deaths due to flu every year. It's a nasty illness. And if you've ever had a really good case of the flu, you feel lousy. You may not go on to get the pneumonia and the bronchitis and die, but you feel really bad.
Oh yeah, that sounds really serious. I've never had the flu myself, but it sounds scary and something people definitely have to take serious. And I hear it often, why do we have to get the flu vaccine every single year?
That's because the flu virus mutates. It changes itself into a different form every year. And sometimes it's a viral shift where it just moves a little from the other one. And then there's another time, there's another way when it just makes a big shift to a totally different type of virus. So, of course, where is it doing this mutating? Very interesting thing is in China. Don't tell Trump. But in China, that's where the flu virus seems to begin every year. And we have surveillance going on in China to determine what kind of virus it is so we can make a vaccine that addresses that kind of virus. And so by the time, and then it starts moving its way across China, across the ocean, and then hits California and makes its way across the country. I mean, the times that flu is really strong in California is a couple of months off from where it is on the East Coast. It's moving during that time. So you need, when it's made those changes, last year's immunization is probably not going to address the one that's coming here. So they create the new vaccine and it gets your body ready for, it gets you the right antibodies so that when the flu virus does get into your body, you have antibodies ready to leap on the damn thing and wipe it out before it can make you ill.
Gotcha. So very, very informative, edifying information about the flu and hitting those misconceptions of what people think it is and the different symptoms. If someone has more questions or just wants to visit Garcia Family Medicine, how can they contact you and come and get that checkup?
You can call us at 816-427-5320 and make an appointment with me, or you can look online at garciafamilymedicine.care, that's our website, and see what information is there and how to become a patient if you would like.
For that, we thank you for tuning in this week's discussion on the flu. We will be here next week as well. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And Dr. Tess, we thank you again.
You're welcome.